Yesterday, Trump came out to the Rose Garden and he started to go into his speech. And the joke is, there used to be this thing they would call the Rose Garden strategy. And the Rose Garden strategy is where the president comes out and he does things that only the president can do. So he makes his opponent look weak and irrelevant, right? But Trump redefined the Rose Garden strategy by actually coming out and giving a campaign speech for about 50 minutes or over an hour by the time he was finished. He went after Biden, and he went after Biden's policies, his new policies that he's announced that are incredible. I mean, he is talking about something like $7 trillion in leftist spending. And you can say, well, the right has been spending like a drunken sailor for years. And that's absolutely true. We've been completely irresponsible. We've lost all authority on the question of fiscal responsibility. That's true. But the left spending is doubly bad because it not only spends on things that shouldn't be spent on, it also just sucks all the power and money out of the room from the entrepreneurs who want to build something new. So let's hear something about what Trump said about Biden. Let's take the one from 11, just a kind of montage of what he was saying.
Biden was here for 47 years. 8 years, the last 8 years, not long ago, as vice president, he said 1 in 5 miles of our highways are still in poor condition. Well, we're doing a good job on highways, but why didn't he fix them? Tens of thousands of bridges are in disrepair and on the verge of collapse. Well, it's probably not a right number, but we have bridges that should have been fixed. Why didn't he fix them? High-speed broadband. We want high-speed broadband. Well, why didn't he get it? 3 years ago is not a long time.
So the press went insane because he's using the Rose Garden for a campaign tactic. Now listen, Obama did all kinds of stuff like this. I mean, he had the guy who, the Miranda, the guy who did Hamilton at the White House and all this. All presidents do this to some degree. Al Gore, of course, was using the White House for campaigning. But Bret Baier made this point on Fox News that if Democrats did this, if a Democrat president like Obama did this from the Rose Garden, we on the right would get upset about it. And I think that's absolutely true. We on the right would get upset about it. But here's the difference. We wouldn't have a press that would do this. We would not have people pretending to be reporters who did what Jim, look at me, I'm Jim Acosta did. Here's Jim's absolutely objective account of what happened.
We are down to Kool-Aid drinkers and next of kin here at the Trump White House. There are no more adults who will level with the president and tell him he can't deliver a rally-like rant in the Rose Garden as he did earlier this evening. The reason why that event that took place in the Rose Garden was so much like a rally is because of the way he just went into the lies, the myths, and the truth stretching that he does out on the campaign trail.
So while it's true that we on the right would have attacked Obama and said essentially what Jim, look at me, I'm Jim Acosta said, we wouldn't have Jim, look at me, I'm Jim Acosta on CNN saying those things because he's a partisan hack. It is one thing for Democrats and Republicans to go after one another. That's what they're supposed to do. That's democratic politics. You're supposed to fight it out, and each one's supposed to go to fight your corner. But Jim, look at me, I'm Jim Acosta, and his crappy station, CNN, should be refereeing that fight, not throwing punches in that fight. And that's what Jim, look at me, I'm Jim Acosta, doesn't understand about what his job is. While Trump was doing this, Biden gave a speech as well. He gave it to an empty room. He didn't take any questions from the press. There were a couple of people in the room, like 5 or 6 people, spread out to keep from getting each other sick. But he did put forward one really interesting plan. You have to listen to this carefully. This is cut number 1.
To get our people to work and our kids to school safely, to get our kids to market swiftly, to power a clean energy revolution in this country, we need to modernize America's infrastructure.
So, I don't know. We got to get our kids to market. I'm not sure whether Biden is a cannibal now. Like, what does it mean? Are we taking our kids to market like pigs, or are we selling them into slavery? Is this like our version of slavery reparation? We're now going to sell our children into slavery to make up for selling other people's children. I have no idea what the guy is talking about. He's reading off a prompter. This video is sponsored by Blink Sale. the revolutionary invoicing software for contractors and small businesses. Spend less time billing and more time making bank with Blink Sale. Get a free trial at the link in the video description.